Hey folks, Todd Staruch, the Horror Nerd, here at the second day of the New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival here in Islay, New Jersey. And I am sitting here with the Wishmaster himself, Andrew Divoff. Andrew, how are you today?
I'm doing good, thank you, Todd. Doing well. Been a second day going here, and we got a bit of a crowd building up. So got a feeling it's gonna be a good show.
I think so too. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate yesterday, but it's bright and sunny today.
It was surprising though. Quite a few people got in, notwithstanding the weather. It was for me. It was a little bumpy coming in, but knew what to expect. I was worried though that the snow was collecting on the road, and that might have kept people away. But we had a good crowd.
Yeah, it was. Well, we New Jerseyans, New Yorkers are a little bit tough. A single snowflake's not going to keep us away.
Yeah, good for you. Good for you.
Okay, so Wishmaster is one of my personal favorites from back in that era of time. Does it ever surprise you that so many years later people are still coming up and still have such a passion for the movie and come to see you because of Wishmaster?
I guess the further along, further we get away from when we filmed it, and that was '97. It is surprising that it's holding up, but I take that as really as more of a token of gratitude to the producers, to the director Robert Kurtzman, and to K&B Effects, who they had been around for a bit, but I think that was a big step for them, getting that movie. And Robert, of course, being the K in K&B, Robert Kurtzman, his first time directing, and so he's gone on to direct several other flicks. So, yeah, no, I get a good feeling when, especially when young kids come up and they've seen it, and they're looking at me like, oh my God. So I get a big kick out of that.
My daughter is going to be thrilled that I'm doing this interview. She's 13 and is really starting to get into horror. So we've started to watch a lot of the films that I kind of grew up with. So she's going to flip that I'm even here sitting talking to you.
Oh, well, that's sweet. That's sweet. It's nice to hear. Tell her I said hello. What's her name?
Olivia.
Hello, Olivia. How are you, sweetie pie?
Very cool. Thank you. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you about was your role on Lost. Mm-hmm. A show that quite literally changed television. We had never seen anything like it before, and I was a big fan. Just tell me a little bit about your experience on that type of a show.
I must say, filming in Hawaii, being with the Hawaiian people who were so beautiful on Oahu, on the island, and I now have friends there, and whom I call Ohana, and I miss them. I miss being over there, working in that environment, and so there were sort of two worlds. It was one was working, and the other was just being a guy. It just kind of felt like being a guy on a vacation. It was just such a beautiful place. People, when I would come back home, they'd say, "Yeah, but that island is it's so much concrete there," and I would answer, go spend 18 hours in the jungle. And you're going to be looking for a sidewalk. But it was beautiful to be there. The show changed my professional life and changed me, I think, as a person as well. What a wonderful character and such a wonderful team of writers. Carlton Cuse, he's been a friend for a long time, ever since Briscoe County, and so it was wonderful to get back together and to see. The development of this magical character, Apache. I still consider myself very lucky to have done that. I really, really do, and I have nothing but love for the show and the people on it. So, yeah.
Excellent. So you usually play a heavy or the villain or somebody scary, and that belies your real life persona. You're a very nice guy. Met you once before at another convention. How do you get yourself into like a dark place like that for a role?
Well, of course, it all starts with the writing, with the script. And if you have a good team, a director, a good crew, all I have to do is show up and do what I promised I'd do. And so it was always wonderful for me, for instance, with Lost, and certainly with other characters, sort of to see the development of a character through the script, and trying not to get too far ahead of myself with with sort of naming the character as calling him a bad guy. So I sort of let that come about, let it happen, and humans aren't necessarily either good or bad. We have traits of everything in us, and a movie is sort of or a TV show. It's heightened reality, and so it's sort of compressed, and it has to come out a lot quicker and be more intense. But I'll tell you something. I get a kick out of being able to do my work and then go home and chill out, in my house and wonder what's coming around the corner.
All right. Well, speaking of which, I see the crowd building up here. I don't want to keep you from your fans. What are you working on now? Do you have any projects coming up you want to tell us about?
Nothing sort of in the pipeline, but I do have a couple of flicks out now in the sci-fi horror genre. One called The Hatred, and the other Demons. Hatred was directed by Michael Kehoe, and Demons was directed by Miles Doliak. It was both of them sort of really wonderful and just kind of short. Was kind of a short film time. I mean, I think it was 8 days and 7 on the other. So again, very, very intense coming in, but the characters, absolutely loved the characters and loved getting into them, and both accented. The one a German accent and the other a Southern accent, which was the first time I did that. But it was wonderful filming with the crew and Miles Doliak down in Mississippi. I had never been there. It was in Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Brett Favre's town, and it was just beautiful. People were beautiful there, and I just had a lot of support, and I knew I was getting into a deep role, and of course I was a little intimidated about the accent. I wanted not to offend with the accent, and I think overall it came out very even, very cool. I have good memories from both. So if you get a chance, check those out. And then other than that, I'm opening up a brewery. And I'm here raising some money for charity, a local charity up in where I live, up in the San Bernardino Mountains. So it's always nice to get to these conventions and be able to say hi to the fan and interact. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate you being here, Todd, and taking your time.
No, thank you for giving me the time. Thanks, Andrew. It was a pleasure to see you again. Andrew Divoff, the Wishmaster, everybody. And we will see you all in the next interview.